What's going on, guys? Mr. Domo here, back again, and you're probably wondering why the fuck am I looking at an empty box? Well, that's because I wanted to do a video on how I ship items out to AFA or to collector archive services for grading. And so I don't have the money, or you know what I'm saying, like I do this stuff on a budget, so I don't have the money to be spending it on these fancy boxes and fancy shipping materials. So I reuse everything. So as you can see right here, we got a box from Amazon, and this is pretty much what I use, man. Every time my wife and I do online shopping, I save the boxes. I break it down so it's flat, and then I just store it in the garage, so next time I need to send something out, I have a box ready to go. For shipping materials, I do the same thing, man. Amazon's really good on using these fluffy air pillows, whatever they're, I don't know what they're called, but these are really great for surrounding your figures or whatever you want to send in, so that way you could protect it and make sure that your figure or whatever you want to send is dead center of that box. And that's the key. What I try to do is I always go for a larger box, just to keep the figure and the carded stuff or whatever in the center and away from the walls of the box. That way, if the box gets dinged up, it doesn't really affect the carded stuff or the box stuff or the loose stuff. So this stuff, I really love using this stuff. Another thing too, if you're sending figures over to get graded, save the peanuts, man. Save the peanuts. This is another great packing material. What I'll do is I'll layer the bottom up with peanuts, and then of course I'll lay my items on that bed of peanuts, and then of course I could reuse I could surround the item with more peanuts and top the item with peanuts. Or if I have these guys right here, the air pillows, then I'll use those. Another thing too to use is bubble wrap. And so again, when you're sending items out to get graded, or if you do any online shopping, save the bubble wrap, man. Just save the bubble wrap. It really helps, especially if you don't have any star cases or any cases to put stuff into. So let me show you what I'm talking about with the cases, right? The star cases. So here, I need to send this to AFA. So here is a Power of the Force 2 Tri-Logo Boba Fett, and this is actually a Japan release. Really awesome figure. So I want to send this over to AFA, right? So what I'll do is I'll line the bottom up with some peanuts, so make sure there's a nice cushion there. And since this box is bigger than the actual carded figure, it's perfect. So I'll lay it just like this, right? So there's enough room around there's space between the figure and the wall of the box. And then of course I'll put some air pillows around it and so forth, and that's how I do it. Now for loose figures, I do the same thing. I got these off Amazon. You could just like search action figure cases. These are you could get like a handful of these for pretty cheap, but I use these for loose action figures. So I'll throw them in a baggie. So I'll show you what I got. So I got a little Jawa here, right? 1977 Jawa. And so what I'll end up doing is I'll put the figure and the accessories together, so that way they stay together, right, when they're getting graded. And then I'll just throw this whole thing into a case, so that way the figure's not getting banged up or anything like that, or the accessory gets loose. I keep everything in a little case, and it keeps it nice and organized for me, because I'm just crazy like that in my OCD. But anyway, so that's what I do, man. So I'll definitely use a bigger box for this, and I could place it right in the center and then just surround the area. Now I get it, right? We're doing this stuff on the budget. We don't have money for these star cases or those little action figure cases. Then what I'll end up doing is, with that bubble wrap, is I'll just nicely bubble wrap the actual carded figure, right? So I'll bubble wrap the whole thing, make sure that everything is bubble wrapped, and I'll probably do another one going the other way. So if you're worried about, because look, you're sending this stuff to get graded, and you want the best grade, right? So the last thing you want is that the stuff gets damaged on the way over to the grading company. Another good tip is to get a cardboard cutout bigger than the actual cardboard or the card back, and kind of lay it flat on the back of this card bag, so that way if something was to happen and the box gets dinged up, it's pretty much going to hit the back of that card bag behind this card back, and so that way it would help you out. Did I just say that 3 times? I don't know. So I would do that. Do a cutout, right, of of a cut of a cardboard, place it behind the card back, and then bubble wrap the whole thing together, so that way the card back is not getting damaged or dinged up on the way over to the grading companies. But mostly I would say highly recommend, the biggest thing to prevent anything getting damaged on the way, and I haven't had this happen to me, knock on wood, but use bigger boxes, man. Use bigger boxes. Yes, you're gonna have to fork up a little bit more money shipping it over to the grading companies, but it's worth it, man. It's gonna give you a peace of mind that hey, at least my stuff got there undamaged and everything like that. So I would definitely highly recommend using bigger boxes for sending card and stuff. And I highly recommend, if you do have some moolah in your pocket, then if you're gonna send a lot of carded stuff, I would highly recommend getting a handful of these star cases, excuse me. The grading companies are great on returning this stuff. I've never had an issue where they kept it. They always do return this stuff. So this one right here is my favorite because it fits any 3 3/4 inch figure, so I could use this for Power of the Force 2. Or I have a really bad one over here that's really super yellow, and it's great for the vintage collection figures, man. I mean, these things are great. They really protect the corners. They're just really good, and of course there's a nice space between the case and the actual bubbles. You don't have to worry about the bubble getting crushed or anything like that. But that's this is pretty much how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll bubble wrap these guys if I don't have these little cases, but most likely I like using these cases because all I have to do is just throw them in there and then just make sure that the box is filled with either peanuts or those little air pillow thingies, whatever. And so that's how I do it. Now once you got your box pretty much prepped, everything's filled, right? You got your items in there, you got all the packing materials in there, it's safely secured, it's in the center of the box. Make sure it's in the center of the box. You close it up. Now where do you send this stuff to? Well, let me show you. So first I'm gonna do AFA, right? So AFA, so I have a video on how to submit action figures, and I'll put a link up above. But so submitting stuff to AFA, you are gonna have to print out these submission forms, right? So you're gonna print these out, you're gonna fill them out. Just follow my tutorial. It's a step-by-step tutorial on how to submit figures for grading. And so once you fill this out, you're gonna put this obviously on top, right? And then of course close up the box and everything like that. So as you can see right here, this address right here is what you're gonna send it to AFA. So you're just gonna copy this whole thing onto AFA. So or copy this to the shipping label or on the box, however you want to ship it. Like this, the shipping is up to you, right? So I go through everything by USPS and I do priority mail. So I get the little priority mail shipping labels. I'll fill those out and then I'll take it over to the post office. Now you could send it to FedEx, you could send it to UPS, however you want to do it. I just do it through the USPS because priority mail is not that bad, it's pretty cheap. And so they have insurance, and then I have tracking, so that's pretty good. So this is the address you're going to use. You're going to put this slip right on top, pack up the whole thing, and then just ship it out wherever your preference of shipping stuff out to. Now for collector archive services, since everything's done online, once you print out your packing slip, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna add this packing slip into the box. You're gonna pack it all up and then send it out to collector archive services. So the first page right here, I did a video on an updated video on how to submit to collector archive services because they updated their website. So the first thing you're gonna see right here on the first page, right? If you have more orders, you'll have more pages, but this is just one item. Right here, this is where you're gonna send your items to. So you're gonna copy this whole address and you're gonna send it over to collector archive services. Really easy, man. Super easy. The insurance that you pay for sending it out to them, that's totally up to you, right? Like with USPS, it's always default to $50. But if you're sending like a high-end, figure or like a rare figure, you might want to up that insurance. But like I said, man, that's totally up to you. That's not mandatory. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you do have to pay for is the return shipment from these grading companies. You do have to pay that up front, or with collector archive services, they'll charge you whatever later on, but pretty much you're gonna have to pay for that. So I would highly recommend putting insurance on it. You know, when you get the stuff back, you're gonna have to pay for it regardless. But I highly recommend it just in case. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's gonna happen. But that's pretty much how I do it. Like I said, I don't have any box stuff or anything like that, but the method would be the same. Obviously it's a box item, so I would just make sure that the whole box item is bubble wrapped, and then of course, like I said, find a bigger box. Make sure that box is bigger than the actual item, so you have plenty of cush around the actual item, and that way it doesn't get damaged. But that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. I mean, obviously the addresses where to ship the items to, either AFA or to Collector Archive Services, the cases that I use, this is pretty much how I do it. For loose figures, I throw them into a baggie, throw them into a case, and I just throw them in there. Not a problem. I don't even bubble wrap this stuff because it's pretty protected, you know what I'm saying? This stuff, same thing. If I'm using a star case, I'm not gonna bubble wrap it. The only time I use bubble wrap is if I have to send it without a case. You know, sometimes I run out of cases and I just don't have enough, you know what I'm saying, to case everything that I have carded and to actually send it over to you know, Collector Archive Services or AFA. But that's pretty much it, man. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully it helps you. And like I said, man, if you just do it on a budget, man, just save yourself some money. Keep all the packing materials that you get from AFA or Collector Archive Services, because it's gonna help you if you do online shopping. Save those boxes, man. Save the little air pillows, save all that stuff, because it helps you, man. And that way you're not going out there and buying this stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to. Like, you could just reuse it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the support, and I will definitely talk to you in the next video.